This is TWiT.
We've done our share of a few phone repairs here in the basement and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. Way more expensive.
It's something everybody should feel empowered and should feel capable of doing on hardware.
And it's great to at least even look inside. So what are we seeing now? Is that the batteries on the top there?
Yeah. So when the iPad first came out, we took it apart. We said, oh, gee, this is an iPhone with a big screen.
Right.
And that's kind of what we have found. So it's continued that way. So the board there isn't much bigger than the iPhone's board. You've got 2 battery cells.
Wait a minute. That L thing is the board?
This is the main board.
That's it?
That's it.
It's about the size of a SIM.
Yeah, well, the SIM card, this is so the SIM card is there.
Yeah.
That's your SIM.
A memory card, a DIM, not a SIM card.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
That's another previous use of SIM with 2 M's. So that's it. The A7 chip is on there. The graphics chip is on. Everything's on there.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. It's not very big. Nothing to it. Batteries are the biggest thing in there. Although, what's different on this Air so far?
Sure. So they went to a smaller battery design, which meant they could do it in 2 cells instead of 3. Okay. If you look at the Air's design on the whole, it's more similar to the iPad Mini than it is to the iPad 4.
Oh, interesting.
So they basically took the iPad Mini and blew it up. And we see that with Apple. I mean, the iPad Mini encapsulated a lot of new design techniques for how they put this thing together.
This is a smaller capacity battery then.
Yeah, this is 32.9 watt hours down, a fair amount from the other iPad. And so they were able to reduce the battery size by improving the efficiency of the chips.
And this is kind of a more. Go ahead.
The overall, I mean, the size of the device is completely dictated by the battery.
Right. Yeah, it's all battery almost. Yeah. Now, isn't this kind of an old-fashioned design? Don't they now? Haven't they changed how they layer the batteries and the motherboard and all of that? Or no? This is a pretty. I'm not just talking about Apple, but in general.
With how they.
I thought that they were putting like the. I'm just thinking like the Moto X, where the battery's the back is in the back plane there. Is that right? And then the motherboard is in between.
Yeah, so that's a major difference with Apple's design from pretty much every other tablet out there. Is with Apple, you open the device from the front, you take the screen off, and then you work your way through. With most other devices, you take the back off, you get the battery, and then you work your way through to the screen.
Because they stack it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So with the Nexus 7, it's very easy to replace the battery, but it takes some time to get to the screen.
Got it.
Where with the iPad, if you're just replacing the damaged screen, then you can get at it. And I think that reflects the design philosophy. Apple's perspective is that we want this thing to work flawlessly for the first year or two, where I think Google's philosophy is that they want people replacing the battery, and they might want the thing to work for 5 or 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Apple does replace batteries for a fee. You can.
They have a battery replacement program. I think on the iPads it's $129, but we don't see very many people take advantage of that.
And I would bet that Apple's just swapping another iPad in.
They might be, and then shipping it back to Depot and doing them in bulk. Okay. Yeah. All right. The challenge with that is that it's inconvenient for people because you're wiping the data in the process. You're not giving them their data back.
Right.
You also have privacy concerns with. I mean, do you really want to give Apple your machine with all your data on it?
Right. Right.
And then if you don't live where there isn't an Apple store, then you've got a bit of a trick. I mean, then you're back to the mail-in days of mail-in service. Or I have lots of friends. I mean, I have some family members in Kenya, and they're ordering parts from us all the time because they don't have any other way to get something.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, we're talking to Kyle Wiens and Miro. They're taking apart the new iPad Air at ifixit.com, their headquarters in San Luis Obispo. They got the teardown up on the site, though, on Friday. They sent somebody to Australia, and their friends at MacFixit lent them the facilities. And so if you want to see the full teardown, ifixit.com has a picture, as always, has it frame by frame. You always do such a good job of this, and it's part of their philosophy of making sure that the world is repairable.
Including our Halloween costume there.
I have to say, I love the Halloween theme of this particular teardown. It's unique. That's
So we told everyone that's how we take iPads apart, but as you can see here, it's not the approved official technique.
Not the way you do it. This is great. This is great. All of the tools you're using are available online. You can. I see the suction cup that you use, the little heater, the little.
Yeah,
warmer.
well, and we're pretty obsessive about tool design. So when we were designing the suction cup, you'd think you'd just go and buy a suction cup off the shelf, but we designed this specifically for the iPhone 5S, and we had a glass wall in the office with about 1,000 suction cups stuck to it, testing it over weeks and weeks, and we went through dozens of different plastic formulations to find the exact right suction
come on, really? See, I have one. See, they work good. They really, you could lift the thing up with this. This is a good.
Yeah.
Good
well, and you
suction
have
cup.
to. The iPhone 5S has clips on the glass, and it takes a lot of force to lift the glass off.
Oh boy.